mynews.studio.
Picture this. In Kerala's Western Ghats, groups of women set out on foot through rain-drenched forests, rescuing rare plants that are on the edge of extinction. People have started calling it an all-female Noah's Ark. But can this approach actually shift the way we think about conservation globally?
That's quite an image, women carrying endangered plants out of shrinking rainforests. Today is July 25th, 2025. Let's ground this a bit. Why is the Western Ghats so critical, and what's happening there right now?
The Western Ghats is one of the world's leading biodiversity hotspots. More than 90% of its original rainforest cover has disappeared, mostly due to farming and development. That's put thousands of unique plant species at risk. The Gurukula Botanical Sanctuary, located right in the middle of this crisis, shelters over 2,000 native species, nearly 40% of the region's plant diversity.
So extinction is the threat, but what's the day-to-day for this all-women team? Is it mostly gardening, or is there more to it?
It goes far beyond gardening. These women call themselves rainforest gardeners. They're trained to enter endangered forests, collect rare and threatened plants, think orchids, ferns, carnivorous plants, then bring them back to what they describe as a plant hospital. There, each species gets intensive care before being reintroduced into carefully restored habitats.
That sounds tough. How do they even locate these rare plants in such dense forests? And is there a reason why it matters that it's women doing this work?
It's extremely hands-on and honestly can be dangerous. There are snakes, sudden floods, thick undergrowth. The team is made up entirely of local women, many from backgrounds where women haven't always had these opportunities. After the founder, Wolfgang Theuerkauf, passed away, these women stepped up. They became both the guardians of biodiversity and role models in their communities.
So it's not just about saving plants. They're also influencing the social structure in the region. Has this changed how people approach conservation there?
It has. Conservation and leadership in science here were traditionally male-dominated. Now, these rainforest gardeners are recognized as experts and teachers. Their work has encouraged women in neighboring communities to get involved in conservation, moving away from jobs like plantation labor or domestic work.
What about outcomes? Has their work actually improved the ecosystem, or is it still too soon to measure results?
The results are clear. Over 300 rare and endangered species have been rescued, like the local Impatiens jordaniae. Wildlife is coming back. Birds, frogs, even signs of tigers, which is a strong indicator that the ecosystem is recovering.
Could this approach work outside Kerala, or is it too tailored to that specific place?
It's already drawing attention as a model for other biodiversity-rich regions. The essentials are hands-on ecological training, access to land, some basic nursery facilities, and steady support from NGOs or funders. Importantly, it mixes scientific methods with local knowledge and makes conservation a real livelihood for communities.
How did these women learn all this? Was it formal training or more like learning from each other?
Mostly informal. They picked up plant identification, propagation, nursery care, and restoration techniques through mentoring, first from the founder, then from experienced team members. It's a blend of passed-down wisdom and modern science.
Has this changed how the community at large sees both women and environmental work?
Yes, the women's leadership has built pride in local biodiversity and made female leadership in environmental decisions more accepted. Younger people are starting to see both conservation and gender equality as valuable.
We know biodiversity loss affects food, medicine, climate, so why put the spotlight on women leading these efforts?
Because it's often overlooked, empowering local women as guardians of the environment doesn't just address equity, it leads to solid conservation outcomes. Their approach is practical and scalable, and it offers hope for other regions facing similar challenges.
So, to recap, a group of women in Kerala are preserving plant species, restoring habitats, breaking gender barriers, and and setting an example for conservation worldwide.
That's exactly it. Their story shows that when conservation is community-driven and inclusive, it can create real ecological change, and local action can ripple outward globally.
It's quite something: species saved, habitats revived, and the social landscape changing along with it.
Thanks for listening as we delved into Kerala's living Noah's Ark and the women at its heart.
Keep asking questions, and remember, sometimes change begins with just a handful of people and some soil.
Thank you for tuning in. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Give it a try for free.